When you get to your site, one of the first things you want to do, even before you detach the rig from your truck or pull vehicle, is go ahead and hook up the electricity. That will aid you as you power out the slides and do the jack and everything. That way you're not running completely off of the battery power. So the power usually is a 30 amp circuit, and it can be found right here. You lift up the flap and pull this out. Now all this shore power is connected to the vehicle, so pull out as much as you need and plug it into the service at the campsite. Oftentimes campsites will have the service at the breaker level already turned off, so depending on where you plug in, make sure you turn on your breakers. Alright, so when you get to your campsite, the first thing you want to do is go ahead, open up the side compartments, pull out the chocks, and we'll get the wheels chocked up. Now if you want to detach your sway bars, it's the same thing as when you attached them. And again, you'll use the little tool that is stored on the driver's side of the storage area. Alright, once you've detached the chain, these metal bars can be detached as well. So if you're parking on pavement or you're parking on gravel, you may not need supports for the stabilizing jacks underneath there, but we do have these yellow things that can be put underneath the pads. If you don't need them for the stabilizers, I'd go ahead and leave the whole stack right here underneath your center jack. That way it can support when you pull down this pin. Alright, at this time you can go ahead and unhook your tow vehicle from the trailer. And you begin to lift the trailer up. Right, so one of the things about this, the pin, sometimes you have to hold this back as you're pushing it up, otherwise it sometimes gets caught. Alright, so using the app, this can help you to find out if your trailer needs to go up or down. Once you've leveled the camper, you can go ahead and put the stabilizing jacks down simply by extending these buttons. Don't forget about doing the rear stabilizers as well. So I have found that hooking up this right angle piece for the water first to your city water connection before you hook up your hose and before you put the filter to it does seem to help, because otherwise what I usually do is just start twisting it until it connects, because otherwise you'll end up having to self-tighten a couple of those extra joints. But hook it up however you'd like. Alright, so the water filter shows that the flow needs to go in that direction. Go ahead and connect it, screw it down, and then you can connect it to the city water. When we get started here, I always like to open up the gray tank and keep the gray moving until right before we leave, which I'll fill it up so I can backflow all the black tank stuff out. So this is where we pull our gray, and we'll just keep that open. And we'll make sure that this will allow us to be able to clean out our tanks when we're done. but not fill up too quickly. So this is the outdoor kitchen. So the outdoor kitchen, it's what's called a horse latch. So this piece moves in. So if you just slide that in, it holds it, and then when you release it, you just have to push in to pull that out. Okay. So your refrigerator for whatever you need. Ours is waters right now. I hooked up this little trash bag, any convenient thing it just holds so you can have some trash. And then simply by starting this, it's on hydraulics, the whole thing pops out and stops automatically. So you get your fresh hot water and cold water as well as your burners. And don't forget, you have to hook up the gas underneath to have propane come into this area. Once you've completed all of your exterior setup, let's come on inside and set up the inside. Alright, so that you're not using your 12-volt battery for the slide, once you've plugged into your site, come over to the service panel, and you can notice right here is the area for the slide room to be pushed out. You just hit out, and the slide will begin to move. Now you'll notice once it gets to the end, it'll make a little bit of a clicking noise to let you know that it's done. Once the slide is deployed, we're ready to move on. Once you're plugged into your electricity at your site, you want to come over and make sure you turn on your water heater. To the far right, you'll notice it says electric water. Go ahead and hit that button. Once that little light shows up, you're ready to go. While you're here, you might as well check the tanks. Your battery should be full. Fresh tank, probably 3/4 full. Black tank, mine's got a little bit in the black tank. And your gray tank should be empty. If you're ready to set up your Murphy bed and done with your couch, you simply have to lower the jackknife sofa by lifting up at the bottom. It flattens out pretty simply. You make sure both sides are detached or unhooked, and then you just simply pull. Now the mattress might come down a little bit slower, but once it comes down, you simply release it, and whatever you have set up in your bed will work. You can pre-make your bed, and it should be a simple way for you to travel with it up, or you can travel with it down if you'd like. However, when you travel with it down, obviously you don't have access to that sofa. It goes away the same way. Once you've made your bed, even the pillows usually will stay at the end. You simply lift at the bottom. Make sure you're tucked in on the sides. Lock in your sides. And then to put the sofa back up, you lift up, but then you kind of push in with your leg. And what that's going to do is that's going to make sure the sofa gets nice and set. Simple process. So the RV comes with a trash can, step foot trash can, as well as a broom and dustpan for your use. We usually travel with the table up, but if you wanted to travel with the table lowered into the bed position, you certainly could. The table is mobile. You could put it outside, but just make sure you, of course, clean off all the dirt off the bottom of the legs before you bring it inside. So to lower the table, there's a little yellow button. And then this piece right here will actually move forward, and the whole table will move down to the side. There you go. Once it's there, it slides into that compartment, and you can put your pillows over the top of it. Alright, the entertainment area comes with 2 remote controls. This one is for this system here, and that system actually does provide speakers inside as well as outside. You got your AM, FM, of course your DVD. You can actually hook up your phone as a Bluetooth connection, and your DVD player would go, or your DVDs if you wanted to watch those, go in here. and then you just have to make sure that it's set on the DVD. You can kind of explains it. Setting, auxiliary, I believe, and then it comes up. This remote is for the Furrion TV, and that also controls it. If you wanted to release the TV, you simply push down this, and now your TV is actually mobile, and you can swing it out in case the kids wanted to watch it who are in the back bunkhouse. So that's the way the TV works. Well, the coffee maker is something that we really enjoy using in the morning. This one is actually already plumbed in, so the only thing you would have to do once you're done traveling, you simply release by unhooking this. So that's the bungee that actually keeps the coffee pot in. So up top, you make sure that you can fill this up with there's coffee filters and other coffee items inside here as well. Once you fill your coffee grounds into here, you make sure this top button is pushed. That will give you a green light here when you're ready to go and your water is turned on. Simply push that green light, and I suggest you run a whole pot of hot water through just to make sure there's nothing in the lines before you actually make your coffee. So it's super convenient. We love using it, and we hope you'll love it too. One of the great features of this camper too is the solid surface countertops. Over the sink you'll have two sections here. It is a split level sink, so you can actually put these over or under. What we usually do is if we're not using them, we'll slide them over here so they're nice and out of the way. However, just be careful. We certainly don't want those to fall and to break. The sink actually does have a pull-out sprayer, so you can pull this out, and obviously pushing the button lets you spray as you need. And we found that these surfaces do handle heat fairly well, but of course, just be careful. Compare it to a laminate surface. You wouldn't want to burn anything on there. When you're ready to use the bunkhouse, we suggest that you at least cover the pads with a lower sheet. I know a lot of kids like to just sleep in sleeping bags and everything else. So throw your pillows up there, throw your blankets. You can see inside it's got full power connections and a little tray for them to hold their devices, as well as a light that can be turned on and off with the push of a button. The same thing with the lower section. Once we move to the back of the camper, you'll notice you have a full pantry storage on this side. I've actually added LED lights along the sides so you can see what's in there. You could use it for clothes, for food. In the bathroom, you can see it's a full-size bathroom. The shower curtain, just make sure as you use the shower, this side seems to, if you don't close it all the way, it seems to get a little bit of water out here so that you don't have to clean that up. Just try to keep that shower curtain as long as it is. You'll also notice that if you need to hang your swimsuits, this actually retracts and hooks up on the other side, so you can actually hang things above the shower area. And of course, you do have some storage up above the vanity area as well as below. So pretty good sized bathroom for such a small rig.